I think I've found my new
Favorite one.
my new grail piece. But
Yeah.
are we going for silver, white, or let's have a look at that one, or the black one? There you go. Lovely. They're both beautiful. And a Parmigiani. Parmigiani?
Yeah, Parmigiani.
Look at that. Look at them. I mean, that's. It's a cracker. Beautiful. Now that was a nice looking watch. However, that was a couple of days ago, and I did say this is my new grail piece. Well, no, it isn't. No, it isn't. Giving it a wee bit of thought, and not a chance. Look, the AP Royal Oak, classic, legend, the 15400, like the two watches you saw in that first clip, are beautiful looking pieces. I'll put a video on the end where you can actually see the movement in it. Just exquisite. It's really, really nicely executed piece. But there's something wrong with it, and there's a couple of things wrong. Well, firstly, we'll talk about a couple of things that are right. I liked the bracelet. The bracelet had a kind of almost like a rough, manly feel to it, and I don't know. It's just. I felt like I was going to feel sort of metal shavings on it. No idea why, but it was just a nice, solid feeling bracelet. I thought the clasp was excellent, even though I've heard that the clasps are shit. On a horological level, yep, ticks that box too. What's wrong with it for me though is this, right? The dial bezel is like a nut from a nut and bolt, like hexagonal sort of shape. It gives it an angular, kind of a sort of tough look. The problem is, it's like the posh, sophisticated kid that you were at school with. You knew it had a bit of class and a bit of grounding, but he thought he was hard, and you knew he wasn't fucking hard. And that's the Royal Oak 15400, right? It's got this sporty sort of, tough, kind of go anywhere look about it. But it isn't. It's a dress watch. I mean, it's not. The boy was in the shop with Brandon, nice guy. By the way, Brandon, if you're watching, cheers for the coffee. Beautiful. It just doesn't quite do it for me. 50 meter water resistance, right? For a watch that looks like that, you'd expect at least 200 meters water resistance. It just looks like a tougher watch than it is. And for 13 grand, for over twice what a Rolex sports model will cost you. Look, I know it's a different horological plane from a Rolex, but when you look at what you can actually do with a Rolex on your wrist day in, day out, and then look what this gives you, is it worth that sort of money? No, not a chance. Not a chance. If it was... Look, at the end of the day, I think JLC are, for me, a fine company. I love JLC. The same sort of money as Rolex on a horological level, a little bit further up the food chain in my book. I just don't see... I just don't see the extra money. I don't see the extra 6.5, 7 grand for this watch. I mean, you give me 13 grand right now, go and spend on watches. I'm not just buying one AP. I'm probably going to go and buy myself a Reverso and probably a Rolex sports watch or something. But no, not for me. A nice watch, but definitely not my Grail watch. Grail watch, still don't really know what you are. Incidentally, I've still got this on my wrist. I've been wearing this. I've had this a month now. This is the Adricos, the Andy Hunter Steinhardt GMT. I've had it on at work today. It's picked up another couple of little dinks. As you can see there, I've managed to fade the bezel with some chemical. Yeah, I actually like this watch. That's why I'm not in a hurry to get rid of it. I know M. Kwan's been inquiring after it, and I was, if he doesn't get it, I'll maybe send it to Gary down in Cardiff from, what's his name, Channel's name is RWF0067. It's a plasterer, and he does a bit of plastering, likes his Omegas, and he has been doing what I've been talking about, and he is going to test his watch to destruction, or test it as hard as he can. And here's the thing, I have currently this and Nick Kenley's Casio G-Shock with me on loan, just to have a look at, to wear and test. And I have out on loan my Grand Seiko. Nick has my 7002 red face Seiko, and Guido has my SKX, and he's just recently done a comparison between the SKX and his Audermars. And then he's going to send both the SKX and the Audermars back to me. So I am therefore going to have, another watch in on loan. So I need to take an inventory of who's in and who's out and whatnot. And here's the thing. If any of you fancy giving me a watch to test or try or just to have a look at, drop me an email and send me a watch and I'll look at it. I'm quite, I'm interested. Even if it's just like another Steinhardt or something, I don't mind. I would love to just get something else on the channel and like maybe compare it to this or to the Seiko if it's back. I'd be interested if anyone had like a Seiko Sumo. I'd love to have a look at one of them. I've been considering buying one, but coming up to Christmas, I'd rather not just spend the 200 quid right now, or 300 quid or whatever it is. So yeah, just a little idea and a thought. If you want to send me a watch, I'd be appreciated. And of course you would get it back. Maybe not in one piece, but you would get it back. This probably pretty much applies to people that are inside the EU. Because we start getting, if I have to get a watch in from America, then all of a sudden I get hit with import duties and it just starts getting stupid. Okay, so there's a thought for you. So anyway, here's the question. AP Royal Oak, black or white? I'm not having that as my grail piece. This is a question I'm going to leave open, and I'll discuss this next week. What do you think my grail piece should be? Should it be something that's probably unobtainable or something that I could reasonably afford? And with that, my dears, I shall leave you be. Okay, Jerry.